What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and welcome to another episode of the Dream Condo Makeover series. So up until now, we've covered the teardown, the electrical plans, the design plans, and the color swatches, and now it is time for the outdoor space. And it is literally the main reason why I wanted this unit specifically after taking a picture of it from across 6 years ago when my friends were actually staying in an Airbnb unit in this building. This video is going to show you guys the progress and the actual installation, but there is going to be a final video that shows you the finished result in detail and everything in action without jumping into too much about the technicals like we will in this video. So when I purchased this place, just like the interior, I would say the exterior was in pretty rough shape, and that was perfect because I was planning to take it out anyways and redo everything. And on some of the units in this building, there are actually trees and live plants on the terrace itself, but as someone who is away quite often, I just didn't want to deal with any of the maintenance. So from the beginning, I had planned to go artificial in every aspect possible. Taking out all the gravel and removing all of the old turf and rocks and leveling it out once again was actually a relatively simple process. And the first transformation was the turf itself. So there are a few specific phases in the project that make the biggest difference in the shortest amount of time. And in the last 2 days, they've been installing the turf around this terrace, and it is really starting to come to life. And the way I mapped it out has a few different zones. There was actually turf already before. There are some tiles along the front there, which is where the outdoor kitchen is going to be going. And there are 2 zones of the terrace, including the side where there's a fireplace, and then the open area right here, which is in front of the waterfall and is going to feature some furniture, but also another like 3rd zone here, which is where the putting green is. So the turf itself was done by Turf Team based out of Vancouver. So if you guys are located in the Vancouver area, definitely hit them up because they have done an amazing job here. Turf has become extremely popular, especially in the past few years, just because of how little maintenance it needs, but at the same time, it looks really, really good. Just like touching the turf right here, the model that I went with is kind of like a medium pile height of about 1.5 inches, but has a good blend of a lush green color while still looking relatively realistic. As I mentioned, there was already turf here before, but it was like the worst turf that you could possibly get. But just seeing all the details and how they cut it around the edges and everything, I am super happy with this turf. And in just 2 days, this entire terrace has come to life. The best part about it though is the putting green. You guys know I love playing golf, and TaylorMade is always nice enough to provide us with the latest and greatest clubs. So you can see this putting green spans about 15 feet in length and it's about 8 feet wide. And although there was an option to go a little bit further and stretch into the 20-foot range, I figured it's good to still have some zones available. That way I can have a table in the corner, maybe some sitting area and some storage here. And let's be honest, I can't make a 6-foot putt, let alone a 15-foot putt. So let's just go ahead and try this for the first time. Oh, there we go. First try. So if you take a look at the other details of this putting green, they actually drew it out in a shape where it wraps around towards this corner area. That way you're bringing all these zones together, but not feeling constricted in any way if you're trying to walk from one side of the terrace to the other. I also love the detail of the fringe that surrounds the putting green, which looks so realistic. And it's about an 8-inch cut that is in between the height of the putting green turf and the turf that surrounds the rest of the terrace. So as you can see, I'm super excited about this. There's going to be a lot of dinner bets here, and I can't wait for the furniture, the box hedges, and the planters to arrive because I think that's going to really complete the space. Just having the matte black planters surround the entire perimeter of the space while also having the outdoor kitchen over there that's going to be installed in about a week is all it needs, but I feel like the turf in its own has made a huge change already. So when it came to the hedges, the original fixtures of the building are just like this brown finish and a lot of glass. And so you have to go ahead and like wash it down. So I figured because the railings are not that high, it would be nice to have box hedges that go all the way around just to give it some level of privacy, but also making the patio feel a lot more cozy. The biggest challenge though, as I mentioned, was the cost. Going with custom steel planters, for example, would have costed like $80,000. So I was trying to find a fiberglass hybrid that was high quality, but also had box hedges that were already built in. Because if you go ahead and purchase all of these individually and put them together and all that, it does add up really quickly, and it just wasn't something that I was willing to spend on, but I wanted regardless. I ended up going with a company in Vancouver called Atlas Pots, and I spent about $20,000 for 80 feet in black planters and the hedges, which I think is a pretty good overall spend because it just looks so good. I also went to Costco and grabbed some $40 lights ×2 to go along this entire 80-foot perimeter, and I have it hooked up to a sensor that I bought on Amazon that turns on automatically when it gets a little bit darker in the day and stays on for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours depending on your preference, but you can also remote control. I think box hedges at a custom height are a really good way to just make the space feel a lot more cozy if you have the space. I totally understand that bringing this entire patio in by 1 foot around the entire perimeter does take away from space, but I still feel like there is more than enough, and what these are sitting on is not the actual turf. I used the original pavers that were on the unit already and had them laid out along the perimeter. That way the turf doesn't get damaged, but to also give it some stability and weight. So yeah, that is the story behind all of these box hedges, and I think in general, after the first year or so, they've held up really nicely. When it comes to the pavers that are below the kitchen, honestly, I wanted to go with one that had turf inserts in the middle in a diamond stitch pattern. And the reason why I didn't end up going with that is because the drainage on this terrace is not exactly good. I know these are like condo issues and very specific ones, but as someone who is like doing a project from the beginning, it was important to try to address some of those problems that can't be fixed later, especially once the new interior floors were laid down. So that entire area right there with the pavers are actually floating on about 6 inches of standoffs, and it allows all of the water to just freely flow into one of the 3 drains on this terrace to ensure that the water does not enter the unit based on the weight and pressure of it. So before we move on, I want to give a huge thanks to the sponsor of this video, Shokz, and their new open fit earbuds. This right here is their brand new product, and what's cool about it is the open ear design gives you the ultimate comfort. It has a nice ultra soft silicone cushion that provides you with incredibly comfortable experience, and there's also a loop around, which is good for anyone who is active and running around. And in this scenario, you don't have anything in your actual ear canal, but instead a loop that is ensuring that the earbud itself is secure. When it comes to the sound quality itself, I really liked how seamless the earbuds sounded. Even though I'm someone who really likes to use my AirPods, for example, I find that over time, they do start to become very disruptive. And if I'm just like walking around the street, I don't always need the ultimate noise cancellation, but instead, I just want an earbud that I'm able to enjoy some music and be in my own zone, but also be fully aware of my surroundings, and in some cases, also have a conversation. It gives you up to 7 hours per charge on the earbuds themselves and up to 28 hours of listening with the charging case, and a 5-minute charge gives you an hour of battery life. To cap off all the hardware, it is also IP54 water resistant. You can also use the Shokz app to customize your own listening experience, and you can change things such as the EQ and the button functions. This is how the earbuds fit in the ear. I'm just gonna loop it around here, and there you have it. The silicone itself is very comfortable. It is also flexible, and it is also available in a few colors. So if you guys wanna go ahead and check it out for yourself, I'm gonna drop a link down below. So when it comes to furniture and fixtures, this is an area that I probably made a big mistake, and it was going with all white everything. I mean, it rains like 100 days a year where I live, and I was warned not to do that, but I just kind of wanted that clean look. And with white, whether it is a car or furniture, it looks really good when it's like clean, but when it isn't, it is a total disaster. And I kind of learned that the hard way. So these are actually chairs from Rove Concepts in a very nice white finish. I also have some white chairs that are in the front balcony. I have a teak and slatted couch, and I actually had covers made for all of these things. But at the end of the day, you have to always keep up with it. And if I had to do it over again, the simple answer is I would have gone with the light gray. I've gone with other types in the past, like darker colors, but I found that those seem to fade if they're exposed to sunlight for long periods of time. And so I wouldn't say white was the best idea unless you're willing to maintain it. I think the combination of black metal and the teak goes very well. It adds just enough color and complementary to the grass, but at the same time, one of the things that I did was actually have a coating applied to the furniture itself that makes it so that water just beads off and washes off very nicely. The fire table in the middle is from a company called Deco, and I think it just really wraps it up nicely. You have the waterfall that is flowing 24/7, the fire table in the middle as you look out into the view and the sunset, and I'm gonna talk more about that in the final video, but I mean, I love the circular shape. It is just the perfect size. I mean, Deco just makes some amazing concrete products. They make wall paneling, they make a whole bunch of fire tables in different sizes and different colors, and I was able to actually match it very similarly to the building concrete and also the concrete pavers that I already have. And I mean, It is just super high quality, and we're gonna be talking a lot more about this in the final review. Just to summarize, when it comes to the furniture, I went with 2 chairs on this side. That way you can kind of walk in and out and ensure there's still proper flow, because the waterfall does stick out a little bit. But over on the other side, I have kind of like a sofa over there that is modular as well, but I have them kept together. And over on the other side, I have another sofa that is in front of the fireplace in conjunction with a white marble porcelain table. It's very important that if you're buying furniture for the outside, you keep in mind the durability of the material long term. And stuff like porcelain has held up really well, and that's why I didn't rush into making these videos, because in these like progress episodes, we're talking about all the selections and choices, and I'm sure some of you guys are actually building or planning your own outdoor space. So I wanted to give my opinion after using some of these things for a certain amount of time and actually already learning things that I would have done differently in my next project. So now let's talk about the outdoor kitchen. This is by Urban Bonfire and installed by Thomas & Birch. And when we work with Urban Bonfire, they go through a custom design process that goes through all the modules, the colors, the different finishes, as well as the hardware and fixtures to be able to build the custom system exactly the way that you need. So I took a look at different samples and swatches as well as stone samples, but as you can probably tell, it is the same stone finish that you're gonna find inside, which is porcelain. I have it wrapped around in the waterfall edge, but over on the actual kitchen itself, you can see the system that I ended up going with was a fridge on the end, some drawers and storage, obviously the cabinets for the barbecue and everything, and then it ends right here with a hose. It is a company that is based out of Quebec, and being one of the most rugged climates in the country, it is definitely built to last. And I'm in a place that rains quite often. It maybe doesn't snow and doesn't have as harsh of a winter as the East Coast, but I'm near the water, and generally speaking, things that are outdoors will show wear in this kind of scenario. But this was installed nearly a year ago, and you can see it still looks brand new. I went with an anthracite finish, which is just a simple gray, relatively neutral. I didn't want to draw too much attention away from the other elements of the space, including the furniture wood and the hedges and grass and everything, but it turned out amazingly. This outdoor kitchen really does elevate the entire place, and especially having it on a condo and this like system that has been put together in a very custom form. The whole process was really easy, and it's definitely what made the whole design process and installation a joy to work with. Thomas & Birch came and installed it really quickly, and I mean, all the different elements are very well thought out. You can add stuff such as a sink. If you wanted to, you could do a keg, but in my case, it made the most sense to just have a fridge at the end, and the barbecue in the middle just stands on its own, and anybody who comes over can just throw stuff on the grill and you're good to go. So in our final reveal, we're gonna be hosting like a party on the terrace and showing you guys how that went. Having this much space though is also nice. Say you like ordered some food in, you can just lay it out. I didn't want to restrict it at all, so I just kept it relatively open, but having that hose storage on this side is great because then you don't have to see it, and whenever you need to rinse something off, the furniture or the windows, you can just go ahead and grab the hose and put it back in. Even in the outdoor space, having as much storage as possible was a very high priority, because even the covers for the furniture take up a ton of space. And so not having to bring them back into the house or getting a separate bin allows you to enjoy the rest of it without having to see things that you don't necessarily want in sight when you're not using. The stone itself was installed by Flowform, and this porcelain material is what you're gonna go with for outdoor spaces because it is super high quality, it is durable, and you can also tie it in with your interior space if you went with the same option. The waterfall edge is the first thing that you see from inside the unit. I think it looks great, and I mean, I have nothing else to say but the fact that this outdoor kitchen turned out amazingly, and Urban Bonfire in conjunction with Thomas & Birch did an amazing job. But otherwise, that wraps it up for this terrace episode, showing you guys an update of this unit as I continue to show you guys stuff like the living room, the kitchen and everything. And as I said, this was the main reason why I bought this unit specifically, and I've had my eyes on it for 6 years. Up until I went ahead and purchased it off the market. It was really because of this terrace. I'm someone who doesn't really like to go out and walk around in my hometown. I'm usually just working. So having this terrace is just like that little bit of fresh air that you can just step out to at any time. And it's just also nice to look out to. It's my own space that I can do whatever I want with. And I mean, I have to say it turned out really nicely. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the next episodes as we move towards the final reveals, and I'll see you in the next video.